Yes, guys, welcome back to another stream. It's another big Steve stream. We've got loads to talk about. We've got Fulham, we've got the Champions League reaction, and we've also got money bags Manchester City. 600 and odd million pounds in revenue, 40 million pounds in profit. Business is good. How are you, Steve? Are you good, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good, yeah. It's great seeing the club in this condition. You know what I mean? Years ago, we were teetering on the edge. Peter Swales was having to sell a few printers and sewing machines. Franny Lee was the new saviour. We wanted Franny and all that, and you know, so it's not always been this good, Lewis. It's not always been this good, but yeah, I'm taking it, man.
I can't lie, bro. The worst I can sort of remember is just over 10 years ago when it was taxing and his dodgy cash. But yeah,
that was don't really. Times. John Wardle, mate. John Wardle saved us there.
Wild. We've got loads to talk about, guys. We are going to do a little bit of a section on the whole finances, what it means for the club, what it means for fans, you know what I mean, and the safety and security net that we have at City. But we're going to speak about the Champions League reaction. But before we do, I want to quickly get Steve's thoughts on the game at the weekend, because, Steve, I don't know about you, and I've been trying to think about this, and people have given me various different sort of reasons and thoughts and all that kind of stuff. But I don't remember celebrating a goal like that for a long time. Do you know what I mean? And I'm trying to think, did I celebrate that hard for the Rodri goal against Arsenal? And I'm not sure. I can't decide. But what is it that made that goal so important against Fulham, bro? Because we was going mental in the studio, man. I don't know why.
No, it was a mad feeling in the stands. Do you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember when Raheem Sterling scored that last minute against Southampton?
Yeah.
He was going for the league. That was what it reminded me of. Pep was on the pitch and all that. And I think it was just the way that we was winning 1-0. We go down to 10 men, 1-1, and then we're up against it then. You know what I mean? And I think the crowd started to think, typical City's kicking in here. But we know we're not that City anymore. You know what I mean? We always fight to the end. And we just kept on going. And like you say, the celebrations was mad because Pep was doing a lap of honour, which I've never seen. So, and they were coming up to the south stand. You know, everyone was staying behind, cheering and all that. It was a mad one. I think a lot of it was just relief that we finally got. You know, we got what we deserved, because Fulham just tried to stifle the game and spoil it. And obviously, when you're a home team and like City, we're a little bit spoiled. We want to win the game. We don't want to see that. But when you put yourself in their shoes, you know, they're on for a point at the Etihad. They're fighting. They're always going to be fighting for points. They're going to do that. The manager's telling them to do that, whether they want to do it or not. But at the end of the day, I think justice was served. The big Norwegian fella, like you say, unbelievable, you know, gets the job done. I was actually listening to Rodri on the radio after the game, driving home, and he said he was going to take the penalty. Rodri was going to take it.
No, I didn't hear that. No way.
He said the penalty was on me. He said, but I seen in his eyes. And he said, this is what he's built for. He went, so I just gave it him and said, do your business. So I'm a bit relieved he did.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. You know what I said on the stream as well, I've mentioned it since then as well, is that people forget, like, this guy's only 22 years old. You know what I mean? Like, the pressure that he was under, and obviously he said, didn't he, that it was the most nervous he's ever been on a football pitch. The pressure that he was under to step up as a 22-year-old with all that expectation, all that hype around you, for him to step up, and obviously, like I say, it wasn't the best penalty in the world. Keeper almost had it, but that doesn't matter. The ball went in the back of the net. For him to do that, that shows me how much courage he has, how much love he has for the football club, because it would have been so easy for him just to say, nah, I'm not feeling this one, lad. You know what I mean? I'm a bit too nervous. And he kept his cool. And at the end of the day, he kept it low. When you keep it low, you've always got a chance.
It's the power he put in it as well. You always put power in it. If the goalkeeper doesn't get a clean hand on it, it'll bend his fingers back. It'll skid under him. It was wet, and he just put it low. And listen, it is what it is, man. He's just. You just feel something's going to happen when he comes on the pitch. You just feel it. You could even see their defense when he came on, as if to say, you know, it's just got like 50% harder here now, because they're going to start spamming crosses in the box, and this guy is ready for it. And I think he had 3 or 4 touches when he came on. He had that header that was disallowed. He had a back post where he jumped it, stretched it, and it come across the goal. So he's literally just that target we needed. And I think you're going to see games where he's starting getting tight late on, and it's going to be a moment of magic from him. where City just go a bit direct and he's going to get the points.
Yeah, no, for sure. You could see when Haaland came on that Fulham was scared. And to be fair to him, Jamie Carragher has said this on Sky Sports when he did a special. Him and Gary Neville did a special on Haaland, and he said defenders will be scared of Erling Haaland. And when Erling Haaland came on the pitch from the sub, you saw it. You saw the Fulham defenders back off. You know what I mean? Suddenly they were 5 yards further back than they were previously. You know what I mean? That gave Kevin De Bruyne a little space. There's no surprise that when Erling Haaland came on the pitch, Kevin De Bruyne's level of performance went up as well because he got more space. He could get into better positions. And obviously had an actual target man in there, as we found out for the disallowed goal. And yeah, you are right. I think when we are struggling, we will go a little bit more direct because we can. We've not been able to do that basically since Dzeko left. You know, maybe Negredo, you know what I mean? Them sort of players. Ever since then, for the last 6 years, we've not been able to play that direct ball. And if we have, it's been pretty poor. So that was a brilliant win. Well, what do you make of this title race now then? Because I've backed that Arsenal will drop off as the season goes on, and that's my personal belief, and I still believe that is the case. However, I have to give them the respect now, Steve, you know what I mean? Because they're there. They've done what I didn't think they could do, and that's go 13, 14 games and win the majority of the 13 matches, and they've won 11. That's title winning form.
No, it is. And the thing is as well, when you do get to that point, that it's the momentum. And I think this World Cup's coming at the wrong time for them. If this is a normal season, they're going into the Christmas period full of confidence, energy's up, team spirit, right into the mixer, come out of Christmas in the same run. You can see the finish line. With this break now, you know, the World Cup is going to throw many spanners in the works. People could come back with injuries, people come back off form. It's just going to be one of them things. It's a weird season. You've got to give full credit to Arsenal. You've got to give full credit to Arteta. He's made a few tweaks and you know it's working for him. But listen, we know what we're about, and all we've got to do is focus on what we're about. People ask me, who do you see as rivals and all that? I say, I see whoever's at the top next to Man City in the last 10 games. That's our rival. Then it's a shootout for me. Them last 12 games for me is where it's won and lost. That's when you got to get your nut down. That's when the pressure's on. The tabloids are on you. The press is on you. The fans are on you. That's when your ass has got to be, you know, you got to be solid and keep it. If you don't, that's when they crumble. Look at Kevin Keegan all them years ago in Newcastle. Fantastic all season. Man United was seasoned. They knew what to do. They just let Newcastle get carried away with it. Then all of a sudden they crept up on them and just devoured them. And that's what Man City do to teams. You know what I mean? Liverpool are used to us. Arsenal aren't. And if Arsenal think they're just going to keep on dancing in the streets all the way to the title without Man City coming, ain't happening.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that because, funny enough, the longer the season goes on and the longer Arsenal stay at the top of the table, the more pressure will be ramped up on them. And every single game that they win, whilst they'll get more respect from the fans and believe, right, these are actual title challenges, that pressure goes up. That pressure goes up and up and up and up the longer they stay at the top of the league. Why? Because they're one step closer to winning the Premier League. I still believe that at some point they'll fall off because of basically what you've just said. I think the pressure is going to get to them. They've not been in that for a very, very long time. No one at that club, the players or probably any of the coaches have dealt with that at Arsenal or in the Premier League for a long time. And we just got to stay with them. And I just believe at some point something will happen. Boom. As soon as we're top, properly, not for a day. As soon as we're top properly, we'll go. See you later. Do you know what I mean? And I think we'll take off, and Arsenal will have a little bit of a dip. But it's interesting, isn't it? It makes a difference. You know, nice to see Arsenal up there instead of Liverpool or United or whatever. It gives us a bit of a different challenger. I like the way they play football. And yeah, I think when we play Arsenal in the new year, I think it's going to be a really good game. Just quickly before we move on to the Champions League draw, just your thoughts on the referee's performance, Steve, because I try not to be biased, obviously I'm biased in it, but I try not to be biased too much. I actually thought he got most of the decisions right. I don't know what you thought about the penalty. I thought the penalty was the correct decision. I also think that by the letter of the law, it is a red card. I don't know if you want to give your thoughts on that.
No, do you know what people? I think what people are pissed off with, right, is the inconsistency of it. We touched it before. I thought it was a penalty. I thought Cancelo just barged him out of the way. He was more or less clean through centre of goal, so I can see that. They're talking about Trent doing it to a Tottenham player, but he was wide down the edge of the box. You know, it's not going to happen there. But if you watch the Nottingham Forest game, I think Emmanuel Dennis in the box turns similar to De Bruyne, gets his legs took, no pen. Then Dennis goes down the side, jinks inside, gets took down again, no pen. Now, watching that referee's watch before on Sky, and according to the referee, none of them were penalties. And one of his explanations was he left the ground when he tried to jump over the guy's leg. And it's like, I just don't understand. I don't know what the consistency is. And I think the fans are confused. We're in the stadium. We're confused. It's just madness, mate. But, you know, listen, Kevin De Bruyne, he made a meal of it. But that's clever football from Kev, because he's thinking we need to win this game. He's touched me in the box in the last minute. So I'm going nowhere. I'm going on my ass. He goes on his ass. It's a penalty. For me, that's good. If he'd have stayed on his feet, tried to get a shot off, and then we'd have drew the game 1-1, everyone would have said, why didn't he go down? So he did what he needed to do. I'm not complaining. The referees, they just make a rod for their own back. They're letting mad things go, and they're pulling other things. It's the level of refereeing in the country just needs to improve, in my opinion.
Well, what's your thoughts on VAR? I don't know if I've ever asked you. What's your thoughts on VAR? Have I ever asked you that?
I think don't get me wrong, I think it's good in a lot of ways, but I think that there's idiots using it. I just think there's idiots using it. There's no level of consistency in that VAR room, which is saying, basically, this is by the letter of the law. You've got to give this. But it's weird. 1 minute you see somebody get the ball blasted at him in the box, it's handball penalty. Then in another game, the same thing happens. It's not. Then the guy gets brought down in the box. That's a pen. Same game, that's not. So people don't know. I don't know. I'm in the stadium. I ain't got a clue. So I can't say, yeah, that's a pen. Because it's literally whatever idiot is in that room making the decision. It's mad. It's mad.
I don't actually know if I've ever asked you about VAR, so that was pretty interesting. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, I'll quite happily go back to the good old days of just a referee making it. Because, bro, as well, like, do you ever really remember a time where a referee has cost like a decision which is fundamentally changed the league outcome?
No, the only time I remember a really stinker was, obviously, you remember the World Cup in '86, Maradona handball. That's obviously clean, yeah, gets away with that. I remember Chesterfield, I think, played Middlesbrough in FA Cup semi-final, and the shot hit the underside of the bar, over the line, came out. That was obviously no goal line technology. Robbed them of probably a Wembley final appearance. Frankie Lampard in the World Cup against Germany, it's about 6 foot over the line. At Mendes at United, they were all sort of goal line decisions. I think what happened with football forever, say there's a dodgy decision in the game, we go outside the game, we go back to the pub, we have a row about it, yeah? Monday morning, we've dealt with it. It's human error. He's dropped a bollock and we move on. Now what you're seeing, we're getting replay after slow-mo, after angle. And you know yourself when you play football, yeah? A decision can look worse in slow motion than it can in real time. And that's what annoys me sometimes. If you see it on the screen in real time, it's totally different to slow motion. So I don't know. I think they've got a problem. They've made a rod for their own back. They've got to tweak it. But that's down to them.
If it was me, I don't like any of it. I like the goal line technology because it's fact or fiction, yeah. I like the offside because, again, it's the same. It's a binary decision. Everything else, like the handballs, if it's obviously handball, like a Maradona one, or like the Thierry Henry one that someone put in the chat, again, fine. I just think these 50-50 decisions, I think you need to just, that it ain't working. That for me is not working because...
You know what I'd trial though as well? They do it. They did it in Australia. They mic'd the ref and the VAR room.
Steve, they won't do it. They will not do that.
Yeah, but you know what?
The bottle jobs.
That's why. Because it's a bottle job. Because if they do that, then you can hear the guy explaining to the referee, so he can say, "Look, it's no penalty. I think he was going nowhere. They've just banged into each other. It's no pen." So then in your mind, then you think, right, okay, I can see where he gets that from, so I accept it. But when they're all sat there in silence, they don't come out with anything. They don't explain anything. They've basically got the best job in the world. They've got no accountability. They can ruin games. Us in the stands that don't know what's going on. So yeah, it's mad, man. It's just mad.
Yeah. No, I agree. Right, okay, we'll move on to the actual Champions League draw. I went off a bit of a tangent there on the VAR, but it's every stream I'm going off on tangents about VAR. I need to stop doing that, so apologies, guys. Before we do, as it will pop up on screen, guys, if you've not already done so, please smash, why is it not in capitals? Smash a like on the stream. There we go. I'll put it on screen now. Smash that thumbs up button hard as you possibly can. There's 400 people in the stream right now. We've got 100 likes. Let's get those up to 200 rapid. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. And of course, go check out Big Steve on his YouTube channel and Instagram at Big Steve MCFC. It's the easiest one to remember because it's the same for both ones, isn't it? So don't just do one, do the both. What's a new target now, Steve? What's the Instagram target?
Probably 15K, but to be honest, I've not posted a video for about 4 weeks. So people are probably getting annoyed.
I know, what about your Instagram? What about your Instagram?
I'm on my Instagram all the time. I'm up to 28 and a half. So 30K. Yeah. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. We have random lives. We have a bit of a sing-song. Sometimes there's a bit of abuse. Man United slander. There's loads on there for you to go at.
Be prepared to be called a sausage, guys. That's his Instagram there. And I can promise you, loads of content, match day content all the time, before and after games. And especially for the people that maybe don't go to games, you know what I mean, like live abroad or can't afford it due to the times that we're in. Just following Steve on his Instagram is great.
European aways, I've got videos of you and Geordie pissed up. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And this is a good thing as well because he doesn't drink. You're getting actual proper content rather than just if it was me and Jordan, we'd just be going
just get drunk with content. But with me, I'm like get everyone in and that. But it's legit good. It's good, man.
Right, speaking of European away days and that, the draw was done today. Let's just get the draw up for you guys so you can see it on screen. What did you make of the draw? We got Red Bull Leipzig. Happy with it?
I think you've got to be, aren't you? Listen, I'm not one of these that begs for. I'm more looking for the away day than the team. I think if you're gonna win it, you take anything that comes, you take it on the chin. And Leipzig's a good draw for us. We know what they're about. On the day, they can score goals. They can get at you. They've got some good players. But I don't think they what he does. So we've got to be happy with that. Nice trip to Germany. 2 legs. You got to fancy us.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is a draw here in full. So you got Leipzig. Obviously, the first one out of the hat it was Leipzig, Man City. We are at home in that second leg, which could be crucial. Hopefully it's not because that second leg, I think, is coming at a more difficult time. So hopefully it's done by then, but you never know. Leipzig are a good side. Club Brugge versus Benfica. So obviously there's going to be a favourable tie in the quarterfinals. Liverpool came second. Real Madrid, who topped the group, get Liverpool. AC Milan play top of the group, Tottenham Hotspur. Frankfurt versus Napoli. Dortmund, Chelsea, Inter Milan, Porto, and Paris Saint-Germain versus Bayern Munich. And this is just another thing that I sort of like always try and say to people. Yes, you want to top the group, right? Because then you avoid stuff like this. But topping the group isn't always. It's not the be all and end all. Do you know what I mean? I always say to people, you have to top the group. You have to top the group. No, you don't. You have to qualify for the Champions League by coming first or second. That's the main thing. It does help you, obviously, if you do top the group. But it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is just getting through. I mean, I'm really happy with that. I've sort of got to the point now, Steve, where I'm sort of at this point, right? When we was first in it, first couple of years, I kind of wanted like all the big teams. You know what I mean? Because I was like, oh, are we? How long are we going to be in this competition for? I want the big teams. You know what I mean? Then we're getting the big team. After a while of getting knocked out in the last 16 every year or the quarterfinals, I thought, right, want the smaller teams, want the teams that we can beat. But that's a bit boring. So this is the sort of level that I want to be at. I want to be at like the AC Milans, the Inter Milans, the Leipzig, you know what I mean? Where if you don't perform, you will get beat. But you should be going through if you turn up. Like if you turn up and play 80, 90% of your ability, you should be going through. But that's the sort of level that I actually wanted AC Milan. I'm happy that we got Leipzig. I think it's a good level. But they do have dangerous players. And Kunku, of course, scored a lot of goals last season and he's on fire again this season. City will have to be on form and at the races, won't they, when they play these 2 legs?
Yeah, I mean, it's because obviously we slapped them a bit at home, but it's because Nkunku got the hat-trick or whatever, people are saying it. But like we're all going on about Nkunku, they're looking at us like Haaland, Alvarez, De Bruyne, Bernardo.
You forget that sometimes,
they're looking at the whole team and thinking, yeah, this is a nightmare for them. We just got to do our business. We got to go over there, make sure we don't do anything stupid and get a result, 1-0, 2-1, anything like that over there, no problem. Just get a result, even a draw. Get a draw there, bring them back to the Etihad, win the game.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Tiki Bergerstein here speaking on it. Says Leipzig are not new in this competition. They're always doing an unbelievable job. They're in Europe always and fighting us in the last 16. So they're growing as a club and as a project. This is German football, very open, box to box, which we don't like too much. We like always to have control, so it's going to be difficult. We're going to meet old friends. We played last season against them. They were very open games. We can be sure there'll be attractive games. We're able to win the home game, but we struggled a lot of goals, which is nice for people watching, but it's not for professional people. In the second game, everything was done. We lost. Yeah, that was the one. That was a dead game, that one. It is going to be an interesting game. And this is what I want to raise. This is what I raise the point to Calvin Phillips. When we signed Calvin Phillips, I didn't really get it at the time. And I sort of got to it. And then I started thinking, I wonder, and I'm sure we spoke about this before, Steve, I wonder if Calvin Phillips is going to be deployed with Rodri in these knockout games, because one thing that is pretty poor from Man City over the last 6-7 years that we've had Pep Guardiola is that the amount of goals we concede in knockout Champions League games is pretty embarrassing. Do you know what I mean, for a club of our level? I wonder if he's going to revert to double pivot. Do you remember when he first came in? He used to play double pivot, didn't he, with like Rodri and Gundogan?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to try that with Rodri and Calvin Phillips, just to give the defense some extra protection. You can give Kevin De Bruyne a free role then as well. Put two wingers on, a striker, and you should be set. And do you see any way that, because surely he's got to try and fix this? We can't keep conceding all these goals. What did we concede against Real Madrid? Was it 3 in the first one or 4 in the first one? And then another couple in the second leg. You look at Monaco, which conceded goals. Tottenham, we concede 4, whatever it was, 3
I just
at
think
home.
because we don't see that a lot in the Premier League, because teams don't tend to go for us because they're a bit panicky. They think City blow them away. In the knockout competition, teams have got no choice. They've got to go for us. So when they go for us, it's literally like a basketball match. 1 minute we're at one end, they're down the other end, and we usually outscore them. But I know what you're saying. I think Phil Phillips was brought in as a Fernandinho replacement. He can play centre half. He can also needed to rest. He needed to help Rodri. I think if Calvin Phillips fit now in this first 10, 15, 13 games of the season, I think you see in the games we've won, I think you see Rodri coming off at 75 minutes, Calvin Phillips slotting into midfield, ticking us over. That's what I think the plan was. Obviously, with Calvin being injured, it's not worked out that way. Rodri's obviously playing more minutes than what he's supposed to. I think Rodri last season, near the end, was dead on his feet, and we can't risk that burnout. But Calvin's coming back. I don't know if he's going to make England's World Cup squad. I don't know if they're going to chance him or what, but he needs game time. He needs football. But he's got a big part to play in it for me. He's like a new signing. We can get Calvin Phillips back fit after the World Cup. I think that's a new signing. I think in games where it is getting a bit tough out there and we need some extra legs. We've seen City go flat a few times this season, and we're bringing on Alvarez to spark us up front. But sometimes the midfield's gone flat and we're not quite, there. Or Bernardo's played wide, or Bernardo's not been there. But I think with Calvin coming on, rattling a few challenges in, getting the boys going again, putting himself about, I think that gives us another option. I'm looking forward to it, to be fair.
Yeah, guys, let us know what you think about Calvin Phillips. Do you agree? Do you think he's got a big part to play? I don't know what part he's got to play. I don't know if it's going to be big or small. I have no idea. But I have a feeling, I've just got this suspicion in my mind, and I've said it for a while, that I think that you might see a double pivot Rodri Phillips in some of these knockout games. Let us know what you think in the comment section. We'll get some of them up on screen. Huge W's and GG's in the chat for Obeid, who was gifted 10 memberships to the stream. GG's to everyone that's got one of them. I can see some of the names. We've got Spaceman, we've got Brian Donahue, Donna, I don't know how you say the surname. Kim Young, yes. Ethan Gibb, Hiflo, and a few others there as well. So GG's in the chat. Thanks a lot, Obeid, for the 10 gifted. He then says, Grizz to buy a Liverpool. This is quite interesting, actually. A couple of comments coming in about this. About the fact that Liverpool are rumoured to be up for sale. There has been some contradictory information popping up today about whether or not they're up for sale at all, whether they're selling some of the shares or whether they're selling the whole thing. Don't know. Is interesting though. Anything to say on that, Steve? I mean,
it's just, listen, there'll be people right now going through the Twitter history, deleting all the oil tweets and all the shit that they spouted for years. At the end of the day, they're twerking for the sheikhs. I've seen it online today. They're twerking for it. And for a club that claims to do it the right way, for a club that claims to have the morals and, do everything with respect and, things like that. We don't want all this. We do it the Liverpool way. So just make sure you're consistent with that. So if any sheikhs turn up at Liverpool and start throwing the money about, let's see how it all turns out then. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It happens. Newcastle, true Geordie. I won't go around doing this. I won't go around doing that. If anyone comes to Newcastle, I won't like it. Look at him now. He's walking about in robes and that, talking pure shit. So it is what it is. Football's football. We concentrate on doing our thing, supporting the club. And Liverpool, I think the Liverpool owners have realised they can't compete. I think they've took them to the edge and they realise they need a rebuild and they realise that Man City are pulling away. And I think they haven't got the pockets deep enough to start pumping another 200-300 in there without a guaranteed return. So I think it's time to pass the baton. They paid 400 million for it. I think they can get 4 bill. I think it's good business sense. They'll probably pass it on. They probably will get rich owners. It is what it is. But yeah, I bring it on. Don't begrudge anyone. The journey we've all been on has been fantastic. So, get ready for it.
Yeah. Obeid says, Steve, City signed Sane. Obeid wants Sane, bro.
No, Leroy's time at City's has been and gone. We love Leroy, but he wanted to leave, so he's made his bed. Let him leave. Unless he comes out and professes his undying love for Manchester and he wants to come back because he's missing. I don't know. He's missing the print works or something. Then maybe we get him back. But other than that, just keep him where he is.
Yes. I'm not real. Buffy says Mike Ashley to buy Liverpool. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Harry White, member for 3 months, says, yes, lads. Any of you's been watching the wheelchair Rugby World Cup? I proper enjoyed it. I gave it a go on Sunday, and it was good. Big Steve Goat. You know what, bro? Harry, I don't know where I've seen this yet, but someone put on Twitter or Instagram or on the radio saying that they've been to the Rugby World Cup, the wheelchair Rugby World Cup, and said it was mint like you. I can't remember who it was, but that's 2 people now who said it was proper
what
sick.
Did he do? Just smash into the wheelchairs?
And that's right. I literally assume I guess that's probably why it's so good to watch, because you're just watching people like literally ramming into each other with a ball and like the game of rugby is still the same.
I'm going to check that. I've not seen that. I'm going to check it out afterwards.
No, I've not. But that's the second person now. That's the second person that's told me that they've never seen it before. They watched it once and were like, "This is actually fucking well good." Like, so
yeah,
maybe it's something to check out. Yes. Shout out Akil. Says big up LB and Big Steve, City fan from Saudi. So happy to see you 2 every week to educate us. Bro, we ain't educating you, bro. This is entertainment. We're not educating you. You know what I mean?
Entertainment, man. Entertainment. I think City Extra though should do a history hour or something, and I'll come on. CBeebies on the BB's channel when they have a celebrity on and he reads a story to the kids that in a nice low voice, and all the kids fall asleep and nod off and that, and you put your kids to bed. I think they should do a Big Steve history hour, and I'll sit there and I'll talk about Tony Scully. I'll talk about, Ian Morley, Bradford 89 promotion, and I'll talk to you in a dead, nice, calm. We get some whale music going and that. I think City fans will love it, man. It'd be like therapy for these new ones. They'll be loving it.
What about this music, Steve? This work for you?
It's a bit too upbeat. Bit too upbeat. That we need like orcas and whales, and we talk about Peter Swales, and we talk about Franny Lee, and we talk about Frank Clark and Niall Quinn and Clive Allen and all that shit. And I think people will love it, man. Oh yeah, this is
it. Yes. Oh, well, without this one.
Imagine that. Well, imagine that. Just wait. Welcome everybody to the Big Steve Show, and tonight we're going to talk about Georgie Kinkladze. Get yourself a cup of hot chocolate and a blanket, and get ready to hear about the Georgian genius.
Chat, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, chat? Do you think this is a goer?
Georgie Kinkladze signed for Manchester City for £2 million from Dynamo Tbilisi. He made his debut against Tottenham at Main Road. See what I mean?
Talk to me, Steve. Talk to me.
Get Freddie on the phone. We're doing it. It's a show. It's a pilot episode. It's coming soon.
Talk to me about Kinkladze.
Kinkladze, mate. I tell you, everyone will be buzzing, man. We'll educate you about the old times. We'll bring it right up.
What's going on, man? Buzzing. Right. Is there any, in fact, let's just have a quick chat about the other fixtures, actually, Steve, before we move on to how rich Man City are. If I bring this up again there, that should work. Yeah, so these are the games. So obviously, Leipzig City, I reckon it'll be one of them games where it could be tough, but if City turn up, we'll get through. Let's have a look at some of the highlights there. Liverpool, Real Madrid. This is an interesting one, this one, mate, because I don't think it's cut and dry that Real Madrid will go through it. You know what I mean? I know Liverpool are playing at Anfield first, and they'd much rather be playing at Anfield second. However, a lot of the people in the chat today when we did the live draw, like Real Madrid are going through that game. I don't know, man. I don't know what you're thinking on this one.
No, I think Liverpool's got a bit of revenge as well for the final. It's going to be tough going to Madrid second. We know that. We dealt with Real Madrid at the Etihad and we fought comfortably. We're going to Real Madrid. They've just got this little spark, like Liverpool at Anfield. It's all about that Anfield game for me. If Liverpool can build up a lead and go to Madrid, they've got a chance. I think if Real Madrid are one goal in it, either I think it's going to be a bit of a mountain for them to climb, especially the way Liverpool are playing at the minute.
Yeah. So who'd your money be on in that one?
I'm going to say Real Madrid, but close.
Close, yeah. I backed Real Madrid and then I changed my mind to Liverpool, but I'm going to go back to Real Madrid, man. No, I didn't. That's wrong. I went Liverpool, then I went Real Madrid, and I'm sticking with Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid will get through. AC Milan, Tottenham. I think this is an interesting game, this one, because I think Tottenham should win this game. I think they're a better side than AC Milan, but it's Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? And I say that, you know, a bit tongue in cheek, but also
I think
very
Conte
true at the same time.
Conte will stink the gaff out in the San Siro first game, 0-0, 1-0 either side. Go back to Tottenham, big atmosphere for him. Get behind him, win the game. I think Tottenham win it.
Yeah, I think Tottenham should come through that, but don't be surprised to see him get knocked out because it is Spurs. Frankfurt Napoli will be a good game. Obviously, Napoli are flying very, very high, and you've got the Europa League champions there, Frankfurt. This is another. Yeah, I would think that Napoli, especially the form that they're in, unless they fall off after the World Cup, you never know. But I think Napoli win that one. Borussia Dortmund versus Chelsea. This is going to be interesting, this one, because obviously Jude Bellingham's going to be there. He's been on fire this season in the Champions League. And Chelsea at the moment, I know there's a little bit of time. If you look at the dates at the top there, there's a little bit of time for these games to be played. You do have the World Cup. But Chelsea at the moment, man, I don't know if you... Did you watch the game yesterday? They were absolutely abysmal. They were shockingly bad. Really bad.
The World Cup might come as a good time for teams like Chelsea, especially with a new manager. Gets a bit of time to regroup, gets a bit of time to look back on what's been happening over the season, things he's probably missed, trying to address it. Hopefully he gets a reaction from the boys when they come back and they can go again. But on paper at the minute, you'd probably put Dortmund over two legs to probably get something there for me.
Yeah, Chelsea need to sort that form out rapid. They were woeful yesterday. Inter Milan Porto, this is again another interesting tie. You know, Inter Milan got through a group with Bayern Munich and Barcelona, and Porto did really, really well to top the group. So interesting on that one. And then look at that one, bro, at the bottom. Paris Saint-Germain versus Bayern Munich. And guess what? It's not on the same day that City are playing, so we can actually watch it. It's going to be mental. That's a top game. I think Paris Saint-Germain are going through this one, mate. I disagree with the chat this morning. Chat said Bayern, I reckon PSG.
I think PSG are going to win that. I think I've got a soft spot for Paris. Obviously, I was over there 2 weeks ago with their lads, their ultras. We're doing a bit. Terry's Cult's done some stuff out there with them. And they're a good side. It's just, I think that Neymar factor with him, because if you get him rattled up, it seems to lose his mind. The team goes to shit. But I think they're learning now from last season. I think last season they were easy to get at. I think this season they're playing well. They're looking all right. I think Paris might do them over two legs. Yeah, me too.
I'm going to do the poll again, right? Because this morning the poll was heavy buying.
Yeah, it's definitely a 50-50, but I just think Messi, innit? Messi as well, and Mbappe. You know, I know Paris can't defend as well as whatever, but I don't know. It's going to be a proper shootout, but I've just got a feeling for Paris.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I completely agree. I think Paris will do it this year, and that's I think is that it? Is that all the team? Yeah, that's it. So look, we're in a good situation. I think England could have 4 teams into the next round. if Liverpool can get 3, they should have 3 because Chelsea should sort themselves out there, and Tottenham should win, and we should win. So there should be minimum 3, and Liverpool will have a good chance of getting through as well. So you never know; there could be 4 teams round in the quarterfinals. Where remember they do the path to the final, so then you find out who you're going to be playing. But they're the dates anyway. Have the dates been done, bro? Are the dates done?
We're on 22nd of February. 22nd of February is our first game away.
Right, okay, let's have a look then. Let me get it up on oh yeah, there it is. Right, let me whack this in here then for the chat so the chat can see it, yeah. Right. So first game, can you see that? Yeah. Has it come up on the screen? The fixtures?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got the Forest away, couple of days rest, then we go away to Leipzig. And then the other ones after Palace away, 3 days later, Leipzig at home. Yeah, Palace away could be tricky. Then you're playing West Ham as well. That's a tricky one. I mean, it's not the worst situation. We've definitely had European away days in harder situations than that. So I think we take that, don't we? I think on the whole, bro. I think if you have to rate this draw, I think I give it like an 8.5, 9 out of 10. I think it's been a really, really good draw for us. Both the team we got and the other draws.
There's only Bruges. Maybe Benfica. You probably could have been more perfect. You know what I mean? But I'm taking it, Leipzig. I'm taking it. I think sometimes we need a bit of something to wake us up in this competition, and I think hopefully this will do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let me go through some of these super chats. Scroll up, get some of them on the screen. There we go. Obeyed. Question for you, Steve. When's the next We Are the South Stand? This is your YouTube thing that you do, not Instagram.
Probably going to try for Friday. I think me and MCFC lads are going to do one on Friday. So, yeah, I appreciate people coming up to me, mithering me in the South Stand. Steve, come on. So I'm going to do it. I've been a bit poorly. Still got a bit of a croaky throat, but I'm there.
Nick Toll says, I think Liverpool will want it more than Madrid. Yeah, of course. They've got the revenge factor as well. We've not even spoke about that. Very good, very good point. AM, member for 2 months, says, I suffer from anxiety and depression, and your guys' videos and streams really help me. Thanks a lot. Keep up the good work. Well, I'm glad to help you, bro. And, hope
man, keep going, man. Keep going.
Relevant help, bro. Roberto Rivadinieri, what a name that is, with a $2, says, LFG, RM beating Liverpool. Get the fuck out, Scousers. Till I die. Absolutely love that. And as well, Obeyed with another 10 gifted memberships to the stream. Obeyed coming in clutch again on the Big Steve shows. He absolutely loves these shows. Guys, W's in the chat. I think you've already done them. GG's in the chat.
Is he paying for them, Obeyed? Is he paying for them?
Bro, it's a gifted chat. Yeah, it's a gifted thing.
Fair play to him, man. Listen, I appreciate that. How'd you pay for him? How much had he?
You know what? Actually, let me check now. Wait, can I even do it? I think it's just the one standard membership. So I think one is a $5. Let me check if I can find out. Can we even do them?
Right. Well, I'm gonna give some memberships away then on your next stream. Let me know how I do it, and I'll give some away.
Yeah,
the more members, the better, man. I like it. I encourage it. And there's a lot of kids out there, a lot of people that can't probably afford things. So we'll give some memberships away and get as many members on as we can, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like yesterday, bro, I don't know if you've seen it, but we did a mad day yesterday. We did 3 streams, all Xtra Club streams. We watched the Arsenal-Chelsea game, we watched the United-Aston Villa game, and we finished off with the Tottenham-Liverpool game, man. And it was sick day, chilling with the Xtra Club members, rating. People were sending in their food pictures, what they was eating for tea, and we was rating it. It was a great laugh. And Obeyed again with another 10 gifted. Is that another 10? That is a separate 10 gifted from Obeyed. Yes, Obeyed. GG's. Wow, thanks a lot, bro.
Obeyed, man. That's great stuff, that. Fair play to him, man. Appreciate that.
He's a big supporter of the channel, man. We appreciate him a lot.
Where does Obeyed live?
UAE. Arab Emirates. Yeah.
Well, if he ever comes over here, we'll take him out to Manchester and we'll look after him. Yeah.
That's it. GG's Obeyed, and guys, check your name in the chat. You might have got a membership. Right. I want to speak about money bags, Manchester City, Steve, because we are rich. I don't know if you knew this, mate, but our club is very, very rich right now. They released that annual report today. It's long, don't fully understand it, but what I do understand is that we have a lot of money. We made a lot of money, £600 million we made, £40 million in profit. Things are going very, very well.
Yeah. Now, listen, we all know when it comes down to finances, yeah, that's the stick that people used to beat us with. But let me just tell everybody, it's jealousy. That is the only thing, jealousy. You look around the football pyramid all across the world, there's teams in turmoil, there's fans rioting, there's teams going bust, there's dodgy chairmen taking money out of the club, you know, there's people saddling the club with debt, there's roofs leaking, there's rats on the pitch, there's all that shit going on around us, yeah? And we've got a club that's built on solid foundations by Sheikh Mansour. We're bringing in investment from all around the globe. We're buying football teams in every continent. We're offering sponsorship deals to companies, and we're tapping into markets all across the globe. This is what people don't understand. If Etihad Airways sponsor Manchester City, they also get access to teams in Japan, China, Australia. So the global market that we've created and the structure, the business model we've created is now proving to everybody, like Sheikh Mansour and Khaldoon said, that their business model will be the model that football teams around the world follow. And it's proven. We've got a fantastic team, a fantastic stadium, fantastic supporters. You know what I mean? We've got everything there. And at the end of the day, it's full credit to Sheikh Mansour and everybody working behind the scenes. They've had to deal with the shit. They've had to deal with all the rubbish. They've had to deal with all the slander. We've had to go to court to clear our name. But look, the proof is in the pudding. So anyone that wants to hate, let them hate. Anyone that wants to talk about shit. The best that gets me, you've got people working on a building site, yeah, that are trying to educate Sheikh Mansour about finances when, come on, mate, you're working on a fucking building site. Or you got people in the bedroom pretending they're chartered accountants.
This is what I always say, bro. I literally just said to you then, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Because why are people lying? I want to bring this up. I did bring it up on the screen now. I'll bring it up now, right? Look at this, yeah. Man City's reported record revenue. Can you see this, yeah? Is it zoomed in enough? I can zoom in a bit more if it's necessary. 630 million and record profits of 41.7 million, the latter being more than double the previous club record. City's revenues exceeded those of Manchester United by 30 million, while commercial revenue has increased by 13.8% to 309.5 million compared to Man United's 257.8 million. We got some comments as well here from Ferran and that. Man City's strong revenue performance was due to multiple factors, but ultimately beautiful football and the continuous fan growth it generates, more fans, more audiences and people in the stadium, more partners that want to be commercially associated with us. There you go. That's exactly what Steve just said.
That's it.
And then I'll keep these on screen as I scroll up so people can read.
If you run a business, Lewis, right? If you run a business, right? Say you own a business, a telecommunication company, and you've got a £20 million budget to get your company out there in the world. Are you going to sponsor Sunderland in the Championship, or are you going to go to the champions of England who get the most globally across the world and try and sponsor them? You're going to sponsor them, and that's all it is. But when Man United was doing it for 8, 9, 10 years consistent, and all the top brands went to United, the noodle suppliers in China and all that, apparently that's earned because United are winning things. But now we're winning things, and all the top sponsors in the world want to come to Man City. It's not earned apparently because apparently we're sports washing. So it's all bollocks and it's all the bullshit, and the proof is in the pudding. And at the end of the day, the wages just came out. We're 30 million below Man United, and we paid our players Premier League winning bonuses last season. So that went on our wages. So if you take the bonuses off it for winning the Premier League, because Man United won fuck all, so they're not paying any bonuses, we're proper clear of them. So it's all jealousy. It's all nonsense. But if it boils piss, let it boil piss.
Yeah, there's a thing that in the media, and obviously it's a lot of journalists are on it, a lot of pundits. You know, Gary Neville always says it as well. It's like, how it's not possible that Man City could have bigger revenue than Manchester United. Well, why is it not? Do you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like you said, Steve, we're the Premier League champions. We go very far every year in the Champions League. If you're a business and you want to sponsor a team, do you want to sponsor a team like Man United who are in the Europa League? You know what I mean? Or do you want to sponsor Man City who are winning Premier League titles, are on TV more times than United, and are getting to the finals, semi-finals of Champions League every season? Like, surely you would just because United have a more a better history in terms of trophies doesn't mean that you're going to just spend the 20 million quid on them. You know what I mean? Like, you spend it, you want your instant return. And Man City providing brands and businesses with that instant return. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I don't like really saying it's racism because I don't know if it is. You know what I mean? And there's no evidence of that for me. But there's something not right. Like there's something for some reason.
It's
The media,
hatred and jealousy. It comes
pundits.
with jealousy. If you're the top at anything, you attract hate because you're the top and people don't like it. When Man United was winning Champions Leagues and when they were winning the Premier League, everybody hated Man United because they were jealous of Man United. Man City got this money. We signed Robinho. They tried to rubbish it. Oh, he didn't even know what club he was signing for. You're a laughing stock. You got Mark Hughes. You signed Adebayor. They're all that nonsense. But look who's laughing now. Who's laughing now? We're 10 years down the line, yeah? We've won 4 out of the last 5 Premier Leagues. We've got trophies coming out of our arse. We've got the best football in the world. We've got Erling Haaland, one of the best strikers in the world. We ain't going anywhere. So you can carry on with the negativity, throwing stones. You only done it with oil. You've got no history. Carry on with all that. Carry on with all that because nobody gives a shit because we're living the dream. And I'm going to watch Erling Haaland tomorrow against Chelsea. I'm going to Leipzig in a couple of weeks in the Champions League. And we're living the roller coaster. That's all it's about. You know what I mean?
You got a 37-year-old playing as a striker. That's the difference. You know what I mean? That is the difference.
Beat off Aston Villa. United, I've got a voicemail off a guy that sent me about 20 voicemails, yeah? Big Steve, you're deluded. Your manager said United are back. Man United are back. Yesterday, I was out with the kids. When the result came through, I just sent him a voicemail and said, Man United are back. And that's it. Not heard from him since.
Yeah, it goes quiet. No, it's one of them. I try and I always tell City fans when they come, we get people coming in and say, "Oh, LB, Jordan," you know what I mean? Like, what do I do when someone calls us this? Or and I always say, just ignore them. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it does get under your skin, but just ignore them because at the end of the day, like you say, we're watching Erling Haaland, we're watching Premier League winners, we're watching us get to finals of domestic and European competitions. That's what it's about. Ignore the hate. But I know I do get it. It can be difficult sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because it's relentless. But you just got to do your best just to put it to one side. Yeah, anything else on the how rich we are, Steve?
No, it's just, listen, we've just got to give credit to Sheikh Mansour and Khaldoon and the people behind it. We know they've had to deal with a lot. You think of the abuse we get, yeah? They've got to deal with it on all levels. And they've always got to remain calm. They've always got to represent the club wherever they go around the world. They've always got to be careful what they're doing because people are out to take them down. People are out to get any inch of controversy on Manchester City. And at the end of the day, I think we all know the only blip in the owner's manual has been the Super League decision, which they got wrong, but they retracted it. But other than that, we look at our football club now, and we've just got to thank them that they came. They chose us. They didn't saddle the club with debt. They didn't destroy the history or rip the soul out of the club. They literally did everything they were going to say. And you've got to respect people like that. And the reason why they've got billions and billions and billions and Big Dave down the road still lives in his mum's bedroom, it's because Sheikh Mansour knows what he's talking about and Dave talks shit on Twitter. That's all you got to remember.
There you go, Dave. Just been told. Right, we're moving into the Q&A section part of the stream. Last 10 minutes, guys. If you've got any questions about anything, send them in the chat and we'll get through as many as possible. Try and keep the questions punchy if you can so we can get through as many as possible. You fire them in and we'll go through as many. While you're sending in your questions, I've got a couple super chats and member chats coming in here. We got Obey says he's soon to come. He'll be in Manchester, so it sounds like Obey's coming over soon. Yes, bro. Let us know.
We'll take him. Tell him we'll take him out for some food, man.
But we've got some good locations in town, bro. We've got some good Fazenda in it. It's got to be a Fazenda, Chilla.
Yeah, we'll take him Fazenda.
Paritosh says, going to be in Leipzig for a match day, possibly. Steve, you joining. Also made an official supporters group for my city. That's proper fan stuff, that, you know what I mean? He's gone out there and he's made an official supporters group. GG's. You are going Leipzig, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm flying to Berlin and then I'm going to get the train from Berlin the night before to Leipzig. I'm staying in Leipzig, so anyone that's going in Leipzig the night before. We had a great time in Dortmund, by the way, that night before in that bar with the Sheikh Mansour flag and that. It was a good night, man. It
was good. And Paritosh, best thing to do if you want to see Steve on the day is follow on Instagram, because then you'll be filming and you'll be able to see where he is and that. You know what I'm saying? Obeid says, we don't buy players, we buy teams, except for Liverpool. We do buy teams as well. We're that rich. Nick Darwood 21 says, want to see how Liverpool fans react to this new ownership. They apparently strive on doing it the right way without money. I'm sensing big hypocrisy here. Yeah, a lot of people are saying this on Twitter and that. Sir Alan with a $15 says, like I said before, we are so lucky to have the people we do running our club. Thank you to Brian Marwood running the clubs around the world, plus Caldoon. Thank you to all the execs. Yeah, exactly. You know what? You feel like the club's in a safe pair of hands, you know what I mean? And like you said, yeah, they make hiccups from time to time. They'll make mistakes with player signings, with manager sackings, all that kind of stuff. That's part and parcel of the game. But the club's safe.
Did you see the under-23 team beat United at weekend?
Yes, I did. And I see Will Dixon.
Was that who did the sweep?
Yeah, Will Dixon. Yeah. He's a City fan as well. Well, I think he is because I follow him on Instagram, and sometimes he's at the games. It's funny.
That was quality. I love that. That is proper shithousery, that, but I like that.
Yeah. Shout out Will Dixon, man, because it was funny as fuck. Nick Toll says, if billionaires are English or American, it's all good, but as soon as they're foreign, like Russian or Arabic, then the money is dirty. It's such nonsense. It's a very good point, bro. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know why that is, bro. I'm afraid. Harsh says, I'm planning to go to Istanbul. Are you guys coming? Come on, guys. Let's go there and watch City lift the Champions League together, guys. Well, I can say one thing. I am backing Senor Gundogan to raise that big A trophy.
That'd be good, man.
I reckon it's happening. And as well, because his parents are Turkish as well. It's everything. It's written in the stars. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there we go.
I hope so.
Right, shall we hit some of these Q&A questions then? I hope you guys have sent some in. Let's have a look. There was a second. Where's your questions? Have you sent any questions in?
Someone put Sausage Gate. Sausage Gate's over now. You know, Sausage Gate cost me a month ban off Instagram Live. Do you know what I mean? Never knew that Man United fans could be so offended to be being called a sausage. So be careful. If any of them start on you in school or out like that, don't call them a sausage.
That's it, guys. You'll be put in isolation. Right, got some questions here. Matt O'Donnell wants to know, will we buy anyone in January? I don't think we will.
No, unless something comes up which maybe is out the ordinary from the World Cup or something like that, then I don't know. No, don't think so.
No, I agree. Twizzy, do you think Man City will win the Premier League? I do think we'll win the Premier League, mate. And I think in the end, we'll win it quite comfortably. I think we'll win it by 10 plus points. I really do. You, Stu?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I think we'll win it, yeah.
Let's have a look what else we got here. Oh, Satwick says, thoughts on Jude Bellingham to Manchester City? I think we've got a great chance of signing him. We've got a good relationship with Dortmund. But by the sounds of it anyway. And, there's no real better team to play in England right now than Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. Obviously, we'll have Real Madrid. We might have some other teams, but we've got as good a chance as anyone.
We're in the mix.
We're in the mix. Let's have a look. Yeah, a lot of people want to know where, if we're signing anyone in January, but we've answered that one. How do you think Cancelo's red card will affect us? Well, apparently it is only a one-match ban because it wasn't It is a one-match ban because I've checked it. So it will be, he'll miss the Chelsea game.
Will he? Or is that's Carabao Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, but they changed the rules, but then it gets confusing, bro. I think basically double yellow is not... He wouldn't have missed it if it was a double yellow, but because it's a red card, I think he missed the Chelsea game. I think. But, I mean, we've got 2 games left. Do you know what I mean? We're playing Chelsea in the Cup. We should be able to get away with it. John Stones can play. Sergio Gomez might have to play and see how he gets on. Or you play Ake at left back, and then you play Brentford at home. Shouldn't really... I mean, Brentford goes side like Brentford, but, I mean, you shouldn't really be moaning about missing Cancelo, in my opinion. Let's have a look, see what else there is. Where are your questions at, guys? Why are you slacking for, man? I thought you would have bare questions, innit? Where are your questions? Luciano, Steve, do you think one day we might build a new stadium if we outgrow it?
No, I think I've been told that I've been told 2 things. That the stand, they're putting another tier on the south stand, definitely going ahead. That's going to go ahead. I'm not the south stand on the north. And I've also been told that they're going to rename that stand the Sergio Aguero stand. So there you go. That's what I've been told.
Bomber, exclusiva. Yeah, I've also been told that the way the stadium's designed, they can just keep on adding and adding and adding and adding. Like, they don't need to knock it down. So they can either go down into the ground or they can add up, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think we'll see a new stadium. Although,
no, I think they'll probably put one on the north. Well, I know they are going to do. And then they'll I think with the Haaland fever now, you've seen how the signing of a player can create a bit of madness. So I think when Jude Bellingham signs in the summer, get the extra tier on.
Well, as well, if you notice at City, the top tiers are not connected. Do you know what I mean? So what you could also do is you do the North Stand, which I think will be the next big one. That'll probably take us to, I don't know, 62, 63,000, maybe a bit more. And then if you want to extend it again, the corners, then you can sort of expand it and then put seats in the corners, because at the moment they're not connected, and you've got obviously screens there, so you could potentially you could potentially get rid of that. Final couple of questions. Thoughts on Carlos Borges doing the Ronaldo celebration after scoring 4 goals?
Brilliant.
It's just a City boy, isn't it? You know what I mean? These lads have been at the club for so long.
I hope he's involved tomorrow, or at least on the bench, man.
Oh yeah, on Wednesday. Yeah.
Sorry, I keep thinking it's Tuesday. No, yeah, Wednesday. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I only say that because you know what I mean. You might get someone thinking it's tomorrow, and then they turn up at the tomorrow. Yeah, I agree, but I don't see it, bro, because I think unless he had a knock for the game against Seville, I don't see it, because otherwise
did he come on against Seville?
No, he didn't.
In the academy.
No, he didn't, because someone told me that he did, and then so I was like, oh yeah, he must have come on. That's probably why. And then Gavin said, nah, he didn't come on in the what you call it. So I'm not 100% sure what happened. Not sure. I know Pep had a bit of a dig at agents. Was he referring to him? Don't know. Who knows what's going on? Let's see what else we got. Pete says Sterling's best career decision was to join Man City. His worst career decision was to leave Man City. I would agree with that, bro. But you could argue that maybe his best career decision might have been going to Liverpool, because that's where he bombed onto the scene. But I do think his worst decision was to leave Man City. Man, I don't think he's not going to do what he did at City there. Right, I think we'll wrap it up there, because it is 8 o'clock. Just quickly, Sinifan says, evening lads, Liverpool for sale. Liverpool oil money, LMAO. Yeah, and it's funny as well, because they had a banner, didn't they? And why do everyone do this with banners? United did it with the banners. Liverpool did it with the banner. They had a banner, didn't they? And thought, your oil can never buy this, or something like that. And then they might potentially be getting bought by someone with a lot of oil money.
It is what it is, man. Isn't it? Mad.
Obey with another 10 gifted as well to end the stream. GG's to Obey. Guys, make sure you put the dubs in the chat. Absolutely buzzing. Thank you very much, Obey, for helping support the channel. And guys, W's in the chat as always. And Wolves F1 with the 5 says, wait a minute. Has main suspect Obeyed going mad again? Obeyed's going mad, bro. He loves the Big Steve shows, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? He just loves it. He loves the City content. Right, buzzing. Enjoyed that. Thanks for coming on, Steve. Appreciate that.
No problem. No problem at all.
What you up to this week? You got any shows booked in?
No, I think we're going to do the South Stand on Friday with MCFC lads. Somebody said in the chat, what's your favourite Man City channel other than City Extra? MCFC lads. You know what I mean? Check him out. Check his content. It's brilliant. So, yeah, he's probably the one. But me and Luke, yeah, we're going to do Friday. Other than that, you'll probably see me on Wednesday. I'm live. And then Saturday at Brentford.
There we go, guys. Remember, go follow Big Steve on YouTube, Big Steve MCFC, and for sure follow him on Instagram. That's where the guy's active the most, especially for that match day content. It is actually sick. Go check him out. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed the stream. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it today. We obviously did the live draw this morning. We're still recovering from yesterday's long day. Do you know what I mean? 7 hours of watching football, doing the stream in the morning, the player ratings on that. It's difficult, you know. Difficult. We'll be back tomorrow, obviously, with more content. We've got the press conference coming up, and then we've got the preview for the big game on Wednesday. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. Peace out. See you in a bit.